Gundam.TK presents Double O Riser. Hey, what's up again, everybody? Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, Gundam.TK. This is the perfect grade Double O Gundam. We've already taken a look at the completed weapons, but now it's time to take a look at the parts once they're all together. It's with the arms that some of my first complaints are going to emerge, and first of all, you've got 3 GN condensers, and I haven't put one in just to give you an idea about that. So with the wrist, of course, you're going to get free mobility here until you put the condenser in. The manipulators are very well designed. You get a whole plate just for the manipulators with tons of parts just in the palm. Of course, you've got the peg there. The fingers are very easy to put together. It's sort of ingenious the way they designed it, and you're going to get a huge amount of mobility with all the fingertips, etc. So really well done there. Now with the shoulders themselves and the arms, first of all, I like the splits here between the white armor. They just add a little bit of something. They could have put a clear part up here similar to what they did in the thighs, but nothing really bad. However, it's up at the top that there's this hologram part here that anybody who's built the high-grade Exia, etc. will be familiar with. And it's supposed to lock into place, and I have a part that I attach here on the top. However, that part broke after about 3 seconds, and the hologram, this part is very easy to dislodge, which means the hologram part is very easy to dislodge, which means this is always going to be flopping out. So that's something that I'm probably going to glue down once I finish the review. Now with the shoulder itself, this is able to pivot here freely, but you'll notice that there's a button here, and when you push in on that, this part here is going to be able to go up and down, and if you release that, it should stay locked into place, theoretically. Now the same idea here, when you push on this green part, you're able to bend the arm this much, and you'll notice that there was a click as this slides out here in addition to bending there. So you're not going to get a 180 with the arm, which is not a big problem because you can bend the wrist, although not as much as I expected. But overall, hopefully this is going to work in the long run and be able to support the weight of the GN Sword 3. Here's a look inside the wrist, and you'll see that there's a number of pegs that you've got to get lined up just right when you're building that. And when you're building the GN condenser, it's the same idea. You're going to want to get everything just lined up here. It's not perfect there. And there are other parts, and when you put this in, if you put it in just right and attach this green part on, you should be able to get that kind of lock mechanism in the wrist as well. Now, whereas on the elbow, you pushed on the clear green part to move the shoulders, it's going to be the opposite down here on the wrist. So you're going to push on the back. We've got a button that looks like the shoulder, and when you do that, you're able to move the wrist and lock it into place. But because it doesn't have a large range of movement to begin with, this isn't something that it seems so necessary. But then again, because you've got the green parts, I guess they wanted to use it. And the only other note is it's hard to get these stickers to line up just right with the writing on the clear parts. The backpack is fairly simple in its design, with just big blocky pieces on the back with 3 connectors here to plug this into the back of the Gundam itself. In the back we do have one gimmick. You're able to pull this lower part down and then flip this up and then slide that back, and of course we'll attach the O riser onto that when making the Double O Gundam. And here we're able to bend these parts here, these rotate around, and they have a range of movement here of about there. If you go any further, you'll see that the plastic will split apart, so you don't want to move it too much, and otherwise nothing fancy, but you are able to spin the drives this much around on the top, and there it's just started up, and it's able to go down a few positions just like that as the engine gets ready to blast off. The GN drives are going to look the way they do out of the box, except you slap on this red piece onto the bottom, and when you put them in, you can spin them around. But anyway, you're going to want to just line it up, get them the same way, and once they're in, you can spin them around, but they do tend to lock into place if you get it just right. And of course, push the button to start them up, and they will be on a time delay, so they will turn off over time without you having to press it again. Now the head of the Double O Gundam is very cool for a number of reasons. First of all being that it is hollow. So on the inside, and because it's hollow, there's a very cool feature that it comes with. So when you're putting everything together, you've got a clear part here that is both the red part and the eyes. So if you choose to paint the eyes instead of using a sticker, that would look pretty cool. But in addition, you just put on this red part. It's great that the gate cut marks are all hidden. Put on the gray part, put on the white part. This is sliced open, so you don't actually have to do any lining there. As well, when you put these cheeks on, these black parts are built into the frame of the hollow head. So again, you don't have to add any lining there. You have the clear parts from the green, from the A plate, and they have words written on them, which is great. And these back parts are actually two parts when you put them all together. And finally, we have some hologram foils up here. As far as for the Gundam's famous V-fins, they did a very good job. The yellow is a little bit light here, but overall, once you put that on and put the white part on, when you put on this red jewel, it actually looks very cool, and of course it has words written on there. But the important part is in the back, you're actually able to fairly easily, and of course as soon as I say that, that doesn't happen, but you're able to dislodge this back here, and we've got a green part and two white parts, and inside we have a light. Now with this, if you use a modeler's knife or something, you're able to turn this on, and one of the cool parts is that they have a clear silver reflective seal inside, which basically just bounces that green light all over the head. So you're going to get this kind of effect on the sides, and unfortunately the red jewel glows green, but not really much we could do about that. And if you painted the eyes, you'd have an even cooler effect. But it is sort of cool that even though I don't have the stickers on perfect, that some light will escape out of there. Now you could choose to put on stickers both on this red seal here and on that back window, but of course I think it's much better looking when it's lit up like this. That wraps up my look at all of the parts of the 00 Gundam, and I have to say that the best part of these is when you're putting them together is just saying wow at the engineering that goes into them, because it's not just the way they look on the outside, but it's the way you build that inner frame and the number of features that they have built into it that just make this into a truly perfect grade worthy model. But then again, just because we have an interesting build and interesting looking parts and a bunch of features doesn't mean it's going to be any good when it's a Gundam. So let's put it all together and finally see what it's like. Anyway, thanks for watching everybody. Let me know with a comment down below what you think, and stay tuned for lots more. Thanks for watching.